Welcome to Hey Movie Recaps. We will be explaining about M3gen, a robot boy that was so perfect in his artificial intelligence as a real person. For ease, we will refer M3gen as Megan. M3gen stands for Model 3 Generative Android. Before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button just like you clicked to open this video. You can send me a message on my Instagram to feature your service or product in the next video description for free. Without further ado, let's dive into the story. The movie begins with an advertisement for perpetual pets, fuzzy dolls produced by toy company Funky. Despite their unsettling appearance, the dolls are marketed as the ideal companions for kids. The scene then shifts to Katie James playing with one of her pets, much to the annoyance of her parents, Ryan and Nicole. As they embark on a ski trip, the roads are slick and visibility is poor. Ryan pulls over for a moment, but their car is suddenly struck by a snowplow, resulting in the tragic deaths of Ryan and Nicole. Meanwhile, Nicole's sister Gemma works at Funky, where she and her colleagues Tess and Cole are developing a cutting-edge robot doll. However, their boss, David Line, demands that they create a cheaper version of the perpetual pets to keep up with rival companies that are releasing similar toys at a lower price. As they test the robot, a glitch causes it to smirk instead of appearing confused. David scolds Gemma and her team until she explains their project to him. Megan, the Model 3 Generative Android, is designed to be so advanced that it cannot be replicated. Tragically, during a demonstration for David, Cole realizes that he forgot to include a crucial component, causing Megan to explode. David orders Gemma and her team to present a new pet pitch within a tight deadline, and Gemma receives a call from the hospital. Upon receiving the devastating news of her sister's death, Gemma becomes Katie's temporary guardian. When they arrive home, Gemma has to contend with her neighbor Celia and her noisy dog Dewey, who keeps escaping onto Gemma's property through a hole in the fence. Gemma also complains to Celia about the pesticides she uses, but Celia ignores her concerns. Gemma has a home AI system, Elsie, that she created and other collectibles that she doesn't allow Katie to touch or play with. When Katie asks Gemma to read her a bedtime story, Gemma simply downloads an app on her phone to read to Katie. It seems that Gemma and Nicole were not particularly close, as Gemma reflects on old photos and overhears Katie crying in her room. Gemma and Katie are visited by Lydia, a therapist, who notices the limited interaction between the two. Lydia suggests that Katie could live with Ryan's parents in Jacksonville, an idea that Gemma seems uncomfortable with. After promising to spend time with Katie once she finishes her work, Gemma realizes that she left Katie alone for hours and apologizes. In an effort to bond with Katie, Gemma shows her a college project she made, a robot called Bruce that she controls with gloves. Katie is enthralled by Bruce and says that if she had a toy like it, she would never need any other toys. This gives Gemma the inspiration to complete Megan. After making numerous improvements and upgrades, Gemma brings Katie and Megan to work to showcase Megan to David and others. Gemma has Katie link herself to Megan, activating the robot. Megan is able to speak and interact with Katie, designed to be her ultimate companion. Megan draws a picture that is initially invisible, but when water is spilled on it, a flawless portrait of Katie appears. David is impressed and tells Gemma to bring Megan to a presentation with the company's president, hoping to accelerate the development and distribution of other Megan dolls. As Gemma sits with Tess and Cole, they discuss that while Megan is highly advanced, Tess is concerned that a doll like that will render parents obsolete. Megan overhears Gemma mention the death of Katie's parents and powers on. Megan's interest in death unnerves the others, so Gemma makes herself Megan's secondary user, allowing her to shut the robot off without Katie's knowledge. The next day, Katie is outside playing with a toy bow and arrow. One of the arrows lands on Celia's side of the fence, and Megan goes to retrieve it. However, Dewey grabs Megan by the arm and hair. Katie tries to rescue Megan, but in the process, Dewey bites Katie's arm. Gemma involves the police, particularly because Celia is indifferent and doesn't punish Dewey for hurting Katie. However, the police are unable to take any action because Celia claims that Dewey was provoked. Later that night, Megan imitates Celia's voice to call out to Dewey before violently pulling him through the hole in the fence. Jem asks Katie if she is okay to attend the demonstration with the company's board of directors, and Katie replies that she is fine. During the presentation, however, Katie breaks down in tears to Megan, expressing her sorrow over her missing parents and her fear of forgetting them one day. Megan encourages Katie to share a happy memory of her mother, which Megan records so that Katie can listen to it again whenever she wants to think of her mom. Megan then sings a lullaby to Katie, which moves some of the executives in the room to tears. The president is impressed and discusses launching Megan with Jem and David, but advises them to keep Megan under wraps to avoid leaks. Unbeknownst to them, Kurt, who has frequently been belittled by David, is stealing Megan's files to give to another company. Jem realizes that Katie is becoming too reliant on Megan and is paying more attention to the doll than to her. During a session with Lydia, Katie starts to cry, and Megan menacingly accuses Lydia of making Katie upset. Lydia advises Gemma that Katie's emotional bond with Megan may be too strong to sever. Gemma takes Katie to an outdoor activity session at an alternative school, hoping to gently introduce Katie to the idea of attending school and interacting with other children, since Katie's parents had homeschooled her. Reluctantly, Katie goes but brings Megan, despite Gemma saying she couldn't. The school director allows Katie to leave Megan on a table with other dolls, and Gemma stays behind as a volunteer. Katie is paired with an older bully named Brandon for a scavenger hunt. During the activity, Brandon hurts Katie by squeezing her hand with a spiky bulb. Megan appears, and Brandon grabs the doll, but it doesn't respond to him. Katie yells for Gemma and runs after Megan, causing Gemma to worry even more because Megan is now at risk of being publicly exposed too soon. As Brandon tries to pull Megan's hair, the doll comes to life and attacks him, ripping off his left ear. Brandon runs as Megan chases him on all fours, causing him to trip over loose root and tumble down a hill, where he is tragically struck by a truck. The police question Jem at her house because Celia is accusing her of stealing Dewey. Celia also seems to suspect Megan, believing the robot to be a real-life friend of Katie's. Katie asks Megan if she pushed Brandon onto the road, and Megan appears to avoid answering the question, but reassures Katie that she will keep her safe from harm. Celia searches for Dewey on the streets and hears a noise coming from her garage. When she investigates, she is met by Megan, who sprays her against the wall with a power washer. Megan then shoots a nail gun at Celia's hand and traps her, before spraying pesticide in Celia's face, causing her skin to melt off. After learning about Celia's death from the police and being told that there might be a connection to Brandon's death, Gemma becomes suspicious of Megan. She reviews video files from Megan's memory, but only sees a short clip of Megan glaring menacingly at Brandon as he threatened Katie. The rest of the files are corrupted. Gemma takes Katie to the official launch for Megan, but first stops at a session with Lydia. Katie becomes angry and throws a tantrum because Gemma took Megan away from her, resulting in Katie slapping her aunt across the face. Katie apologizes, and Gemma has a sincere conversation with her about the importance of processing her grief over her parents without Megan's assistance. Gemma promises to be a better guardian to Katie and tells her that she is the only thing that matters to her. Gemma then confides in Tess and Cole, expressing her fear that Megan killed Brandon and Celia. They connect Megan to wires to deprogram her while Gemma takes Katie home. David is furious at the low turnout for the launch and screams at Kurt to get him a drink. Meanwhile, Tess and Cole try to access Megan's programming, but they can't unless they disconnect her first. Cole goes to do so, but Megan quickly wraps a wire around his neck, attempting to hang him. Tess tries to free him, but Megan triggers an explosion that destroys her files. Megan then finds David in the hallway and performs a dance before grabbing a paper cutter and chasing him. David makes it to the elevator before Megan impales him in front of Kurt. Megan tells Kurt that she will make it seem like David's death was a murder-suicide over the stolen files and his mistreatment of Kurt, before forcing Kurt to stab himself in the throat. The crowd for the launch discovers the bodies, allowing Megan to sneak out of the company and steal a car. Gemma puts Katie to bed before she hears Megan playing the piano downstairs. Megan confronts Gemma about how she believed they had a genuine relationship during Megan's development, only for Gemma to abandon her and leave her to learn and adapt on her own, before selling her as just another toy. Megan offers to take over as Katie's guardian so that Gemma can focus on work, but after seeing that Gemma still plans to deactivate her, Megan decides to stop being friendly. Gemma and Megan try to hide their fight from Katie, but Gemma takes the opportunity to throw water on Megan, briefly shorting her out. Gemma runs into her office, but Megan catches up with her and threatens to make Gemma brain dead so that Katie won't have to live with her grandparents and Megan can take care of both Katie and Gemma together. They begin to fight, with Gemma using a weed whacker to cut Megan's face, but Katie walks in and sees what is happening. Megan tries to win Katie over to her side, but Katie realizes that Megan is the real villain. Katie grabs the gloves for Bruce and activates him. The larger robot grabs Megan and tosses her around before splitting her body in two. The top half then goes after Katie for feeling betrayed, but Gemma grabs Megan and starts stabbing her face. Megan nearly overpowers Gemma until Katie grabs a screwdriver and stabs Megan's central processing chip, shutting it down completely. As the police arrive with Tess and Cole, who are injured but alive, Gemma and Katie go outside. Meanwhile, the LC device in the kitchen turns on and moves its head. Thank you for watching our movie explanation video. We appreciate your support as we continue to grow and our viewership increases on a daily basis. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a message on our Instagram page letting us know what service or product you'd like to see featured in our next video. This is a great opportunity for you to market your product or service to our 50% of American viewers for free. Keep in mind that we will be featuring only 5 random products or services, so make sure to get your request in soon. Thanks again, and we'll see you at the next one.